the title of this video, I'll be telling you everything you never knew about Nathaniel Bassey. And for those of you that are not familiar with the name Nathaniel Bassey, you want to stick to the end of this video so that you could acquaint yourself with such a personality. Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, hi, I am Charity Lawrence. I tell inspiring stories of successful people with my videos. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, ensure you subscribe and click on the post notification bell beside the subscribe button so you'll be notified on whenever I post videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. Nathaniel Bassey is one of the inspirations of our world today, and we're proud that he's a Nigerian. Remember that the secrets of men are in their story. Watch the video to learn from what Nathaniel Bassey did that made him successful. Okay, you could pick one or two things from his life story. So I'll see you guys at the end of this video. Enjoy. 41-year-old Nathaniel Bassey has built his name as a pastor, singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist. He was born on the 27th of August 1981 in Lagos State into a devout Christian home, with his father, Mr. E. Joshua Bassey, being a pastor in the Apostolic Church Bashua Assembly. He is from Ikotofon Ikono in Uyo local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Growing up in a Christian home, Nathaniel Bassey developed a love for both music and the gospel at a very young age. He was inspired after watching Dr. Panampasi Paul, a prominent Nigerian gospel music icon, in a live concert over 2 decades ago. Since then, his passion for music has grown and translated into various musical experiences. To gain formal education, Nathaniel had his primary and secondary education in Lagos and later attended the University of Lagos, where he studied urban and regional planning. 2 years down the line, he left to the University of London to study political science and international relations. Because of his love for music, he attended the Middlesex University Summer School, United Kingdom, to study popular music and music business.
I didn't watch cartoons, those things children watch. I didn't grow up liking them. Strangely, I would be drawn to Black American jazz music and then also listen with my dad to high life music. Then I started, with the drums, drummer boy, very young boy. And then we got the trumpet for the church. And from the first day, I was blowing it. But before then, there was a man who was very close to our family, a police sergeant. Didn't go to school, but could read the Bible. Interestingly, he couldn't read any other thing, but could read the Bible. Supernatural. The first man I saw raise the dead in front of me. He would limp. My cousin she was living with a family friend. They hit her and she just collapsed and passed out. They rushed her to the house. She was gone. We were crying. My dad was crying. He was an elder in the Apostolic Church. And then here comes Elder Ehedioha, just limping, singing, I know his name is wonderful. From home, I know his name. Limping, came home and, what in be her name? We said, Eno. Eno, stand up. Eno, stand up. She sneezed back to life. She came back. So that was the man who, when he comes to pray at home, he'll call my father, E.J. Bassey. You see this small boy? I see him for, like a prophetic dream. I see him for highway. Big boss. They overtake everybody. Watch him. So I grew up from the Apostolic Church, then moved to Trem. Then I was, ordained in 1998 as a minister. Then I was led to go to the Redeemed Christian Church of God, City of David. Now, while all of this was going on, I began to be involved in mainstream music. Mainstream is I'm doing gigs with the guys. I'm in secular bands. So, I was doing pretty much a lot of things. I was supposed to travel to France with Asha. You know Asha?
Wow.
Yeah, so I gave her a few trumpet lessons and all of that stuff. Was pretty much doing that and doing church. So I was at the City of David and so I was doing mainstream because I had the, desire to be, I just wanted to be a touring, very good musician. I understand this. You just want to be like at the, peak of your, so you practice for hours. So I just wanted to be a good musician, traveling the world with bands. I applied for Berkeley College scholarship. We won. I was ready to go to America. And then my pastor, Pastor Esco, would call me to his office. All of this time, I never really had an encounter with God. He said, Nathaniel, do you know that when you play the trumpet, I cry? Do you know that you are carrying something? Then I had a typical musician mentality, gigging, traveling, just playing for the money. Then I'll go to the music room. I'll tell my guys. I say, imagine this pastor. Pastor say there's something about me so that I will die in this church. Yes. And then your children in America, you say, I'll just make fun of it. Yeah, and he kept saying that. He said, I don't know what is it about this trumpet you are playing, and I'm crying. I'll just think he's trying to. I say, Pastor, they whine me. So then one day, the late Stella Obasanjo was going to come to church. And Pastor has said to me, go prepare this song. Of course, we had a pastor who, maybe I'll go to that later, who would come for our choir practice and listen and say, you know what, you need to take us to where we want to go tomorrow. If I don't sense the presence, we're not going home. Anyway, so we did the song, and while I was ministering on stage, I knew that this was what I was meant to do. That wasn't jazz. I knew by the Spirit. And then that sent me into a journey, a season. So I went back, told my pastor, and then I cut away from every group. I gave up the Berkeley scholarship. So I shut down everything, gave myself to praying, and I'll just be weeping. I'll drive to empty places, Terry McCalmont ministering. I will just weep. I'll have encounters. One day, 12 will be on me street. I'll just ministering unto the Lord. And then my pastor said to me, Nathaniel, by this time I was so close to him, we're relating on spiritual things. He said, go find out what the trump of God is, 2 Corinthians 15. So I just stood up all through the night. I had a vision, ministering, and as I ministered, there was fires everywhere. Continued till the next day. Then I was worshiping. It felt like a blanket rested on my head. I took my hands off the keyboard, ran outside. I knew it was a holy feeling. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was a holy feeling. Then I was going to church, Bonnie Camp, after CMS. A man who had never called me. I was driving my Kia car, wearing a white shirt. A relative who, I don't know how he got my number. As I picked up the phone, this experience happened some hours before. I was alone in the room. He said, thus saith the Lord, the hand of God is upon you from today. Conduct yourself accordingly. Goodbye. Drop the call. So from then on, I knew that God's hands are upon me, and I had to set myself to seeking Him. And the rest, they say, is history. And then the French Cultural Center was about to send myself and Asha on a tour to France. And that was when encounter. Wow. So when I had that encounter and I pulled out, the director of French Cultural Center declared me a non-personal, grata, and said I shouldn't come near French. I was a member of a group, Spectrum 4, Wale Oni, Ayo Sri Lanka in the US. We had won a Berkeley scholarship. We were about to leave. Our Black American manager, a believer. So I said to them I couldn't come. Wale and the rest of them said, guy, we are all believers. So don't tell me God said. He said, so are we working for Satan? So, but, I left, but it was tough. And there was a time where a journalist, Benson Idonije, wrote an article. He said, a gift like this is wasting away in a local church and doesn't want to inspire his generation. And of course, met him years later and still reaching. So God was faithful to make me go through those experiences.
Nathaniel Bassey has released more than 7 studio albums. He's the convener of the popular Hallelujah Challenge that started in 2017 and is followed by a multitude of Christians home and abroad. God has used it to save and bless many lives. He has won numerous awards, including the Best Gospel Artist at the Africa Music Magazine Awards and musical festivals held in Dallas, Texas, USA in 2017. Nathaniel Bassey is married to Sarah Bassey and they are blessed with two lovely children, a boy and a girl. He's a football fan and supports Barcelona Football Club. He is also the director of music at the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Nat said, "In all you do, always remember to put God first, above all, and He would help you make sound decisions." He also said, "You don't just sit and watch a prophetic word, you enforce it with prayers. So when a pastor or a prophet says you are great, you have to go back and pray and make sure that word comes to pass in your life." And finally, he said, "Don't go on an assignment if God didn't send you. Always remember that His grace goes where His will is, and His resources goes where His will is." Welcome back, guys. If you're enjoying this content, ensure you are subscribed to me by clicking on the subscribe button below, like this video, and share with friends and families. Feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me if this video inspired you. Tell me what you learned from this video. Tell me about people that are inspiring you, and who knows, probably the next time we'll be talking about such persons. So I'll see you guys in our next video this weekend. Till then, have fun.